Happy heat wave day, YouTube. How are you all coping in this weather? To be fair, I don't think it's that bad. We are having to make some changes. We've had to bring the black box back inside because it was a bit like a sauna in there. We've got the door shut and it's not bad in here at all. Anyway, on with today's video. We've come to the stark realisation that the trailer is not going to be ready for the Van Life Festival. Through reasons out of our control, one of our rental properties has come empty and it's been absolutely trashed, which has meant our time and our mental capability has been pushed to its limit and really spread us thin on the ground and meant that we're not going to get it ready. But it's ready enough for the kids to sleep in. We will be bringing it still. We will be showing it. You can have a look round it, but unfortunately, it's not going to be 100% complete. But in today's video, we're going to get that second fix electric finished, so the kids have got lights and charging points and hopefully the TV may be working, all up and running. So at least the electrics are going to work. In fairness, the kids don't need the cooking facilities because we're going to have the van there. The cooking facilities are more of a showy piece anyway, and nothing to do with what the kids are going to be doing when they're using it when we're camping anyway. So it'll be all right. Let's get on with this second fix electric. So the first job on the agenda is going to be just to very crudely wire this light up, so we've got some light in there, because of course we're back in the building because of the heat, so that means it's really dark in there and you guys aren't going to really be able to see anything. So I'm just going to wire this up directly to the battery because there's no fuse board or anything installed yet, but at least we'll have a bit of light in there and then we can rejig it through the fuse board once we get that fuse board installed. So the first thing we're going to do is just bare these wires. The light we're using we got from Magnum Motorhomes in like a sail bin, which is great because it's got a dimmer switch on it and it's just got two spade connectors on the back, so all we need to do is crimp a couple of spade connectors onto this, get that screwed up to the wall, connect it to the battery, and then at least that way we're going to have some light to show you the rest of the install. Right, get that connected up properly. We can show you around a bit better. So I hope you can sort of get a good view here. At least you've got a light which seems to be glaring, which is great. We can have darkness on glared light, brilliant. So the first thing we're going to do is connect our solar controller back up, and then we're going to tackle that lot. I have just folded that up there and turned it around this little clothes hanging rail thing, so it looks a lot worse than it is, but when we start working through it, that's going to start looking a lot better. So just because it's good practice, we're going to connect the solar controller back to the battery before we connect the panel to the solar controller. We're indoors, so that isn't a problem today, but if you was outside and you connected that to your controller before you connected your controller to your battery, you run a massive risk of damaging your controller. So always connect your battery to the controller first, which is what we are going to do. So the cable we've got is very long now because the battery was in a different position when we initially wired it up. So we're going to shorten this down and get it all tucked up and screwed up here nicely and run it down and connect it to the positive and negative on the battery. Well, it's a new day for me, but the same video for you guys, because yesterday didn't go quite to plan. I checked in my 12 volt supply box and didn't have a fuse box, so it meant that the electrics on the inside had to get put on hold until Amazon deliver one today. Need to start being more organised. So while I'm waiting for Amazon, I've come in early so I can jump on Kerry's laser engraver and make some custom panels for my switches. So I used to be the knowledgeable one with his laser engraver. Used to be. I taught Kerry everything I knew and she just ran with it, but I'm going to try my best today. I've never cut any acrylic with the laser engraver, but we're going to have a bash. So basically what we're going to be doing is making some panels similar to these little things that you see on eBay, but I'm hoping to have what each switch is written on it, because if you know, the little stickers that come with them that say bilge pump and other boat related stuff are all but useless in a camping trailer. So we're going to try and engrave our own messages at the bottom for what's going to be on it, and I've got a couple to make. Shouldn't be too hard. So the first thing we need to do, this one would have been a switch, but I popped the switch out because we need to know the internal circumference diameter, oh God, dogs are trashing things again, of that. So using the calipers, we can see that that is 20.46 millimeters. 20.5 millimeters, that's helpful. And also, if we're going to be putting any of these voltmeters, which are all but useless, but they do give you a rough guide, or USBs in, we need to make the holes 29.5 millimeters. Right, this is the best I can show you, but I'm not very good at this, like I said. So to make sure I've got these evenly spaced, I've put these circles in that I'm going to delete now. I'm sure there is a proper way of doing that, but hey ho, it's not stupid if it works. So basically now, wherever there's a red line it's going to cut, wherever there's a grey line it's going to engrave. So I'm hoping these are going to be screw holes, and then because I've put a black line around them, it's going to engrave, and that should give me like a recess for the screw head to slip into. We'll see. Let's turn it over to the machine. So now all we've got to do is peel this off and then paint these. We have tried painting before you peel so it don't get everywhere. I say we, Kerry has tried it and it still don't work as well as just peeling it off, and then she like rubs it with some rubbing alcohol and it just takes the top layer off. So I'll take this off now. We'll choose a colour and paint those, and then we'll have some little switchboards. I must say I'm happy with that. Could have done with a smaller screw head, but that's all I had that was short enough at short notice. But they can be changed out. But obviously it's not wired up yet at the other end. We've got an outside light switch. All I need to do now is wait for this fuse box to arrive and we can get the rest wired up. Amazon have just delivered the fuse box at 7:30 at night, and I've got no choice but to carry on and do it because tomorrow's Thursday. We're going to go and have another day on this rental property that needs sorting out, and then it's Friday and we're setting off Friday afternoon to come down to the Van Life Festival. So if I don't get it done, the kids have got no lights in the trailer all weekend. So all we're going to do now is just screw that fuse board onto there and then run all the cables in and get them all crimped up with connectors and fastened on, and then we're not far off being done. So we're just slowly working our way through it. Obviously I already had these two fuses in. One is running from the solar panel, the other one is feeding this fuse board. This is all going to be covered up, but it's nice to keep it relatively tidy. So obviously these cables, once I've got them all running down, are going to be clipped back to there and tightened up like the positive ones are there. We'll get all these tidied up once we've got the rest of these switches wired up. Because we've only got two cables coming off the terminals, I'm just using the wing nut connectors. The battery came with the trailer, so these were already missing, so I'm going to see if I can 3D print some new ones just to cover them terminals up. Well, good morning everybody. It was extremely late by the time I got finished the other night. We've been again to Barnsley to work on the terrible house yesterday, so we didn't have time to get any finishing off done, but we did manage to get the electrics done. Today is the day of the Van Life Festival, so I'll quickly show you the electrics and how it is. So we're all done now. Sorry, this morning I've just got to get a batten in the front there so we can strap this battery in, and then it'll be done. Sorry, I'm just telling lies to you all now. But a nice simple setup for the trailer. Basically, we've got our lives and eggs coming off here. One is fed from our Victron solar controller. The other one feeds up to the fuse board, and then this loops off to all the various plugs and switches. There are still a couple of bits not wired up, which is the TV. The tap is wired up, but obviously not working because we don't have a kitchen. But that's the electrics all in and installed. Got some caps put on there to make that safer. Everything working. And our outside light with our funky switches. Another one there. So that's the electrics done. So just the electrics for this episode, I'm afraid, because it's time to be setting off for the show really shortly, and I've got loads to get ready on the van. Organised as usual. Anyway, if you want to see the rest of the trailer build, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll also be covering the full weekend. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and check out what we get up to at the Van Life Festival, where we're going very shortly. See you soon.